Hi guys, I know you've been worried about me. I've been worried about me, but I'm back. I'm back. This is Crystal with We Are Magic, and today we are going to discuss stress, overwhelm, and sickness. Let's talk about it. I've had a lot of people check in on me. I appreciate you. I've been sick. And I had a cool thing that happened. I was sick. I was not okay. And my son and I, we ordered out. So I was waiting on Grubhub to show up. And I saw the elevator coming up. I thought, oh, maybe this is Grubhub. Maybe he got in the building, because sometimes we miss each other. Because I like to meet them out front. You know, I don't want them to have to top their bike or anything. I want to be there for them. And two beautiful ladies, an older lady and another lady, come out, mother and daughter. And they look at me and they go, hello. I'm like, hello, how are you? And, you know, I don't feel well at all. But when someone is so pleasant to me, I got to return the favor. So let me turn down this gain because it is up. As I am about to get on the elevator, the younger lady, she looks at me, she says, I know you. And I'm like, how do you know me? And she says, I watch you on YouTube. And I was shook off because I live in New York City. Huge. Millions of, it's crazy. Never in a million years did I think I would run into someone in New York who knew who I was. And I get stared at on the subway, but I think it's because I'm 5'10" and I'm so tall, and they're just trying to understand why is this Nephilim on the subway? But I know there's taller women than me. It's a joke because I've been made fun of my whole life. But anyway, but they'll stare at me like this, but they won't say anything. So I'm just thinking, oh, just staring at me because I probably, I look strange to them. But I never thought it was people looking at me like, is that Crystal? So she tells me she knows who I am, and we screamed and hugged, and I felt like, I said, the universe brought you for a reason. And the reason why I said that was because sometimes if you're a content creator, an influencer, you're just putting yourself out here, sometimes you feel like you're not reaching anyone. And then you get back into your human ego and you're like, am I even helping anyone? Is this a waste of time? Is this cringe? Seriously, these are the thoughts that will come into your head. Don't come for me, woo people, saying you need to raise your vibration. You need to stop being a Pharisee, because I left religion a long time ago. I don't need you coming over here judging me. But anyway, so when she said that, and she's like, I know you, and Crystal, you have helped me out so much, and you've made me feel like I'm not alone and I'm not crazy. And because, when you go through this spiritual awakening experience, a lot of times people look at you like you're crazy, because what we do is we start getting downloads or uploads. It could be down or up, it doesn't matter. And you can get wisdom from Gaia and from Source and your higher self and your ancestors and your spirit guides. You just get them all kinds of ways. We're literally little computers walking around like you're worried about AI. You are AI. Technically, because your higher self runs the show. We're just out here. So anyway, you're getting all this ancient downloads and your Akashic records from you living as your higher self, you living past your higher self, you being source creator. You start getting these ancient little downloads in you, and you're like, well, this goes against everything the Matrix is telling me. This goes against everything religion is telling me. This goes against everything this Lightworker book or this YouTube or Crystal, because everyone has their own truth and wisdom. So when you wake up, as I call it, when you are Neo and you find out the Matrix is just an illusion, that they're using our energy to keep it fueled and going, as long as we're mad at each other, as long as we're divided and against each other in political parties, and my God can kick your God's ass, and you're going to go, as long as we're doing that, oh yeah, they're winning. We are the sheep. Like, oh, you're proud to be a sheep, huh? Oh yeah, I used to be too. Sheep are being led to the slaughter, though. So you can get recycled back into the Matrix and just go through this stuff all over again, because as Source, This is going to blow you light workers up. Source is in control of all of it. Source controls the multiverse. We are just aspects of source. So the person that you hate that runs a matrix, they're also source. I know we want to say, no, they're the reptilians. Reptilians are source too. Oh no, they're the Orions. Those are source too. You want to talk crap about, the Anunnaki. You want to talk crap about the Greys. You want to talk, it's all source. You keep limiting source to the God of the Bible, where it's just earth and that's it. And that's just not true. God of the Bible is also an aspect of source. All the gods are aspects of source. We are energies. I came as crystal this time. When I transition into another realm, either I go back to the void to source or I just go somewhere else. The energy of crystal now, all the wisdom, all of the lessons I've learned in this lifetime stay within my soul. It's an experience. It's a learning experience. So all the things I learned from my higher self, from my ancestors, from my guides, tapping into the Akashic records, as they call it, or your subconscious mind, where all of the experience and knowledge and wisdom that you've learned in all your incarnations. I talked this about one of my birth stars last night with this. Shout out to Raymond. Anyway, it's there. We just got to wake up. We got to remember, because we purposely come here with amnesia. But that's why little kids are just so sharp and they know things about their past lives, because they haven't had the matrix just start programming them yet. They're fresh from source, fresh from their higher self, fresh from their past life. That's why they come in so sharp. And then once the matrix gets them, we're just here to feed the machine. Yeah. So back to my new friend, Hazel. So Hazel and I are screaming and jumping up and down, and she's excited to meet me. I'm excited. Somebody knew me, so I just loved on her, and she tells me how she appreciates me. And I told her, I said, the universe sent you, because I really feel like I'm just wasting my time, and I haven't been feeling well. And when I don't feel well, I just can't. And she's like, yeah, you have been through it. I mean, she follows me. She knows about my Crohn's journey and all the crap I've been through. She knows. It's crazy. If you're a new follower, I got tons of information from the old videos and the old podcasts. You can get on my YouTube, We Are Magick, with a K at the end. It's We Are Magick. Magic, the old magic, not the rabbit in the hat magic. It's ancient magic, ancestral magic. Go back. You'll see, when I first became awakened, I was still worshiping Yah. Like, I was still religious. It's crazy. And it took a while to break from that. So when I broke from that, I had people look at me like I was crazy, like I was, off the rocker. It's so cute how religious people are literally in a cult, a worldwide one. And I'm the crazy one, because I say source is all. But everybody wants, their ego wants, we're the chosen ones. We're that's ego. We're all source. Source may have came here and chosen to be one of the villains, as you see it. Source may have came as a tree. Source may have came as a dung beetle. Like, it's still source. That's how we got to see it. So, I don't want to go out here and have any enemies, because everything is me pushed out, a reflection of me. But if someone comes for me, knowing who I am, I'm like, oh, source is choosing to be an adversary with this avatar. So it's how we go from there. You know how I do. I go from story to jumping into teaching. Okay. Well, anyway, we exchanged numbers, Hazel and I. And shout out Hazel. Thank you. Thank you. Like I told her, the universe sent her because I was not okay. I have not been okay for a month. It always starts in May. And so June has just been a train wreck. I mean, and I'm not unhappy, but I have battles. Like, okay, since 2021, I've been having breakouts on my face. And I thought it was adult acne. I thought it was hormones. I thought it was, but now we're in 2023. Like, this should not be happening. Now, I knew every time I had an age jump or something, I got older, it'd be like 3 months of this weird adult acne thing coming on. And they say it's hormones. And I'm like, okay, it must be hormones. And then I'm like 47 now. Okay. I'll be 48 in October. And people's like, oh, you're just going through the change. Well, I had a hysterectomy in my 20s. So I've been going through the change. Like, I have one ovary. Yeah. TMI, right? Well, this is who I am. I want to tell you. So it can't be that. But I had so many people say, oh, it's your hormones. Oh, it's your hormones. So I'm like, okay, it's my hormones. So I started getting collagen. I started doing all these hormonal things and stuff. It wasn't working. It was not working. So then I started getting eczema, because I started getting eczema after I had my ileostomy. Never had eczema before, but I would get it like in weird places, like on my arms, on my legs. It was just weird things. So then I started getting eczema on my neck. And then the eczema moved up to the back of my ears. And I like to put my hair up, but that's gross. We see flaky skin. It just looks like a rash or something. It's so gross. And I was like, what in the world is going? And guess what happened? It moved to my eyelids. And then it started attacking like right here, my chin. And then it turned into a painful rash. And then with a rash on top of these horrible, painful pimple things. This right here was a boil. Like, there was nothing. It was crazy. Like, I did everything, the warm compresses. I was like, why is this happening to my fucking face? It's bad enough. This is where the human comes out. All right, I already have an ileostomy. I don't have a rectum. I don't have a colon. I have a tiny bit of small intestines left. I already feel like Job coming straight into Earth because Saturn squared me. And it's like, now this. Like, when is this going to, my belly is scarred to hell. Like, it is so bad. And I'm grateful to be alive, because all of this stuff, I'm still here. I shouldn't be, but I'm still here. But when it started attacking my face, I was like, what is going on? So I called a doctor here. We did a little video conference. And I told her, I said, yeah, I think I have hormone problems. Is this adult acne? And she's like, well, explain to me what happens. I said, well, I have rashes here, a rash here. I said, eczema is breaking out on my face really, really bad. Now I'm picking up my face. I said, and then I get these pimples, these very painful pimples that don't even want to come to a head. I said, and when they finally clear up, they flake, like my skin flakes off. She looked at me and she was like, that's not hormonal. And she's like, I feel like that's Crohn's. You need to go get a gastroenterologist. I will send you to a specialist, because at this time I hadn't gotten I know, it's so effed up. I'm the worst patient on the planet. This is why I'm always telling you, take care of your health. Because I'm going to tell you right now, I'm that person that does not. I will ignore until the Grim Reaper is knocking on the door going, you coming or going? What are we doing? I'll be like, oh, fuck. I'll go to the hospital. And it's horrible. I've had doctors tell me, and I told y'all this, old listeners, I told the listeners from the crew, the Mystics, how I've walked in to the emergency room with depleted potassium, magnesium, and sodium. So depleted that the nurse walked in there and was like, you're not supposed to be alive, right? Doctors are like, do you know how bad you are? Like, your heart stops. It's supposed to stop. And instead of them saying, oh, it's just my higher self literally just running the body, I just be like, oh, I'm an X-Man. That's why. And we all laugh, because I can't explain to a bunch of people, professionals, that my higher self embodies me. And I'm a walking miracle because of it. That I am in tune with the Most High Source, and that they have complete control over me. So yeah, Walking Dead literally over here. But I'm blessed. What can I say? I can't say I'm spoiled, but I am so favored and looked out for. And by me not taking care of my health and staying alive proves how much my people look out for me and how strong I really am. But I don't take care of myself. So I go to the gastroenterologist. They take a lot of blood. He checks me out. And when they call me, he said, I'm really surprised that your vitamin levels are up, because, for ileostomy, you lack that. I normally lack potassium and magnesium and all this stuff. He said, they look good. Your iron looks good. I was like, well, I've been doubling up on my supplements. So he said, well, it's working. Whatever you're doing, it's working. He said, but your creatinine levels are pretty high. My B12 was high. There was something that showed infection or something inflamed. He said, that's obviously your Crohn's. He said, I'm concerned about your kidneys now. Have you ever had problems with kidney stones or kidney disease? I went, oh my God, I forgot. I told him every surgery I had, but I did not tell him that in January 2014, we had a water crisis in West Virginia. Around the same time, and it's so funny, they said I couldn't do anything about this because I had no proof. And I had doctors saying, oh, that's not the reason why this is happening. But at the exact same time as our water was contaminated, I had this fluid cyst that was building up on my left ovary. It's never happened before. And it was expanding and getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And it crushed my bladder to where I couldn't use the bathroom. I thought I had a urinary tract infection. Again, I'm not a good patient. I thought maybe it was kidney stones, something blocked it up. So what did I do? I just started drinking beer and doing all the things. I couldn't use the bathroom. Went to the emergency room, through the ultrasound. They're like, oh, your bladder's really full. That's crazy. She said she would put a catheter. She would place a catheter in me so we could drain my bladder. She thought the same thing, that maybe it was some type of thing stuck in my urinary tract, like a stone, and, putting a catheter in will fix it. Well, guess what happened? Nothing. And she was like, this is not your bladder I'm looking at. And then they called the doctor in and they were like, this is a cyst crushing your bladder. So that feeling of having to pee was my kidneys wanting to expel all the beer and all the water, all the things that I was trying to force out. And they said, okay, well, we need to get some specialists in here. So to get the specialists in there, and they're like, we need to hurry up and put some stents in her kidneys so we can prevent renal failure. As I'm sitting in getting ready, I'm in the op room, they're getting me ready, and the anesthesiologist comes in like, hello, Crystal, how are you doing? What are you doing here? I was like, oh, I need to have some stents put in so, they can prevent renal failure. And then the nurse walks over to the anesthesiologist and looks at her and says, she is in renal failure. And I was like, and that's just a horrible thing to hear. So they were like, okay, well, let's see if we can, stop this. So they put the stents in, both kidneys. And I started using the bathroom, but it's so painful. I heard it's not supposed to be painful when you have stents, but it was painful for me. So I'm thinking I was passing stones and stuff then. Well, they did another MRI, whatever hell they are. They did another imaging thing of my body, and they found that one kidney was riddled with stones. The other one had stones, and one so big that it was not going to pass, and they would have to blast it. But they didn't do it. They didn't do it. So then I had to wait for a doctor because all the cancer specialists wouldn't touch me. And they said, oh, well, if it's cancer, it's just... So they were just going to let it sit there, and it just kept expanding. Another doctor came through and was like, oh, this is a fluid cyst. This is normal. It's just crazy. They have a cancer center being built right across the street, but they couldn't figure out what the fuck this was. So it is what it is. Well, anyway, this regular doctor comes in. I'll drain it. I'm not scared. She don't have cancer. So he drains it, and I just feel immediate relief. It was amazing. And I completely forgot about that. It was so traumatic that I don't even want to talk about it. Well, I go see a kidney specialist, and, they finally removed the stents after I got married and everything. And having the stents it was just so bad. It was really bad. When the stents came out, I was like, free at last. And, they never scheduled me to get my stones blasted or anything. Like, it's just ridiculous. And if I was any type of grown up, I would have asked questions, but I was just so traumatized by those stents. I was like, I don't want to ever deal with this shit again. So let's fast forward. I'm getting this breakout on my face. So I look up ketoacidosis because my blood was showing that I was very acidic, like very, very acidic. And, I drink lemon water and all that stuff. It just wasn't working. So when I looked it up, they said when you are highly acidic, your body will manifest in one or a few ways: eczema, rashes, and breakouts. So my body had to do this to get my damn attention because I did not feel, even my doctor was like, you should feel your kidneys hurting. Do your kidneys hurt? I mean, they hurt now. But I was like, no. And that's not true. I have sharp pains every now and then. But I'm thinking it's like my back hurting. Or I never thought it was kidneys. Or maybe I didn't want to know. I like to ignore. I'm like, ignore it. It'll go away. It doesn't. Don't listen to me. But my sister, who's in the medical field, she said, Crystal, you have so much pain with Crohn's and your ileostomy that your brain is not even registering anything wrong with your body. And she's telling the truth because when I had to have a hysterectomy, I had a dermoid cyst in my uterus, and my doctor said, you should be in pain. I was like, well, I'm in pain. I'm always in pain, but it's Crohn's. So it's like my brain can only take but so much. So my brain has to do things like, well, let's get her attention with this. She's not checking in on anything. So one morning sitting here, after listening to my sister, I became present. I closed my eyes and I was like, I don't want to focus on Crohn's. I'm literally talking to my body and my brain as a separate individual. I'm like, I don't want to focus on Crohn's. As of right now, I don't have Crohn's. Show me what's wrong with me. Show me where I need help right now. And boom, my lower back started shooting in pain. And you're like, it can't be that simple. Yeah, your brain's a computer. Just talk to it. It will literally tell you what's going on. And you can also tell your brain, I want to tap into the Akashic records. I want to tap into the ancient wisdom of my soul. And, you keep doing that and your subconscious mind has to give you what you want. Yeah. So I felt the pain in my kidneys and I was like, oh my God. So yes, my body had to make me aware because I didn't feel the pain. I was too focused on this. This is why they tell you to stay present. But my body had to go, we got to get her attention. Let's attack her face. And unfortunately, they attacked my face since 2021. And I just was not getting it. So I stopped drinking tap water. Because apparently if the water is too alkaline tap water is crazy. It's gross. It's disgusting. But, tap water here, I hate to say it, New York is better than West Virginia. It tastes better. It's crazy. And, I looked on the top states who had the best water. New York was right above West Virginia. West Virginia's 49. New York as a state came in 48th. And I'm like, bruh, what am I doing to myself? So yeah, my son started getting me spring water. My kids spoil me. They take care of mom. And I stopped drinking lemon water because he feels I have a citric acid allergy. So does my sister. So she saw me break out in front of her right after I had blood orange. So your body, and I've never had that before. But again, your body, when it's fighting a lot of things, I think allergies will manifest. So I started drinking spring water instead of tap water. And oh my God. Oh yeah. And I started ingesting apple cider vinegar with my water, like some warm water and some apple cider vinegar to help dissolve the kidney stones. And yeah, I started feeling better. The breakouts started clearing up. I'm flaky right now, but I can show up on camera to you. And I know I want to be authentic and real with you guys. So Kevin was like, you should show up on camera, show them what you're going through, show them the breakouts on your face and stuff. But when you have, and I told you I've struggled with my appearance, I've struggled with insecurities from being bullied and called ugly and bugged, growing up. Like I said, Saturn squared my son when I was born. So, people who have Saturn squaring up to you from birth, you had a hard life. It wasn't easy for us. It just wasn't. You don't believe it? If you had a fucked up life from beginning to now, look at your birth chart. You'll be like, holy shit, Crystal is not joking. Yeah, you'll see all the planets squaring and opposing and stuff. And before you become a victim, just know your higher self chose that. And your higher self is who? You. Not someone outside of you, not someone to worship. It's you. It's one of your many soul incarnations that you chose to come with you and be your wisdom this time. So yeah, I get pissed at myself. I can't be mad at nobody but myself. I'm like, what sadistic motherfucker? Oh, me. I did this. I came in like checking all the boxes. Just telling them I want all the smoke. I want all the it's gross. Someone smacked any of my soul family, no matter what avatar you show up as, if we are together in the astral, smack the fuck out. No, don't smack me because I'll hurt you. But just make sure I don't do anything stupid next time. So, yeah. All that to say this. I could not show up on camera. I could have done a podcast audio only. But then I felt like I wasn't being authentic because I'm hiding from you all. Because this is hard for me. I told you, this is hard. Speaking in front of camera and just pouring my life out here. Like, it's difficult. And I have to do it. I have to show up and be real. So you guys don't think I'm some mystical woo-woo fairy creature that I'm perfect. I am the light. No. That's why I tell everybody all the time. We're all source. Having a human experience. So again, if you came down here to be a troll, a non-playable character, controlled by the matrix and the programming, or just to attack people, that's just who you are, and that's all you'll be. But if you came down here with a mission to grow, to learn, to awaken, to expand, to share, like I really feel after this little bout, and I have a kidney specialist, guys. I have an appointment in July. I have a gastroenterologist. I have a regular doctor now, and now I got to get a woman doctor for all my woman parts. I mean, I just need a doctor to do it all. But, that's not how capitalism works. So anyway, I'm going to start taking better care of myself. It's hard for me to show up in front of the camera when I don't feel well and when I'm depressed and when I'm upset. So I feel like now that the cloud has lifted, I went through this so I can talk about it. It's that shit that my soul signed up for. It's weird. Like, let me go through the worst thing and then tell people about it and how I came out. So here we are. Anytime I'm stressed, anytime I get upset, it triggers all of my issues, aka Crohn's. Now I have kidney problems. So depending on what the kidney specialist says, we'll take it from there. But I am prepared. If I have to wear stents again, I'm just going to stay low this summer. I'm not going to travel. I'm not going to do stuff. If I have, if I just got to get them blasted and, pass them, it's on like popcorn. I'm going to the beach. I'm hanging out in Coney. I'm getting my tan on. Like I got a little something. It's the farmer's tan, but we'll get there. And I was in Coney Island for Juneteenth. And I had a great time. It was hot. I met a lot of people there. I swear Coney Island, that's home right there. Like I love it there. Like, I love the people. It's a vibe. So I just feel like I'm home when I'm there. It's hard to explain. But yeah, lovies, that's what's going on with me. When I'm sick, I go back into my little human mode, and I told my best friend this, because I start crying. Because what happens is when I get sick or I get a diagnosis of, it's chronic or terminal or anything like that, first I go into, I'm a bad bitch, and I've been through worse, and I'll overcome this. And, if it's not meant for me to be here, I'll move on. I mean, I can't fear death, not with what I've dealt with. I can't. The only thing I fear is that my baby's being upset, my friends and my mom and my loved ones and my niecey poo and all them. Like, I don't want to see my people in pain. But as for me, I don't fear at all. I may set the intention that when I go to sleep, I wake up in the exact same reality, because we have realities all over the place. So I just, or I'm back at source with all the wisdom that I've gained. Maybe crystal is my final one. I don't know. This aspect, this little energy cord, but I don't know. I won't know until I get home. So, but I don't fear death. I don't want my babies to suffer or be in pain or cry. And I feel like this little experience just made me realize that I'm here still learning. I have not arrived. And I told my best friend, I go through the stages of, I'm a bad bitch, I'll get through it. Or I have this thing where I've learned, because I used to hold everything in as a child. And I think that doesn't help your sacral or solar plexus by holding everything in and not dealing with it or working through the pain, ignore like I used to. Now, if I feel an emotion, I'm going to let it out. I don't care if I cry in front of you. It's energy in motion. It's got to flow. I'm not going to hold it back. So you air signs that make fun of emotional people, well, you're emotional too. You have energy flowing through you too. You just put on a front like you don't have emotions, but you do. So do you earth signs. Like I know plenty of earth signs, and it's cute. Shout out to Inanna, my friend Patrice. She's emotional too. She's adorable. She says she don't have them, but she has them. And it's just adorable. Fire signs and water signs, we have passion and emotion and energy, and it's just who we are. And I told her, and my friend is a Leo, my best friend, Dawn. Hey, homie. I start crying because her and I have that relationship where we know about energy vampires and people who are negative and pull from you and like, oh, I feel so much better when I'm around you. And they bounce and you're left like this. So yeah, we both are very spiritual. We're very aware. So we try not to leech off of each other. But this day, because she can talk to me and tell me anything, and I can do anything. And she thinks I am a saint no matter what. I can do the meanest thing. She's like, well, what do they do? So yeah, that's how she is. She's just Team Crystal all the time. And I just vented to my best friend as a human and as a goddess. I was just like, am I supposed to leave? Like you get like this. Well, if I could possibly have kidney disease, like this is a possibility now. No, I'm not claiming it, but I'm telling you, this is what I go through. So I was crying and I was like, am I fighting a losing battle? What the fuck am I doing? I said, I'm going to tell you right now, if they say I need dialysis, I'll tell you right now, I'm not going to do it. I'm just not suffering anymore. I've seen people in dialysis. It's just, I'm not doing it. And I've already told my family, if it's a prognosis is just, I said, take me to hospice and let me be comfortable. That's all. That's my death wish. Just let me go to sleep. Let them do their little cocktail and I wake up somewhere else. But yeah, I don't want to suffer. I have suffered. And I told her, so that's the thing. I have suffered my entire fucking life. I was like, this is the time where I should be okay. And now this. So yeah, it was just me venting. I just saw something. It was me venting to her. And she started crying. And you can't give up. I was like, I'm not giving up, Dawn. I'm venting. I'm venting, honey. I said, this is just me. I play so strong in front of them. I'm so strong. I'm such an inspiration because I know if they see me weak, they panic. And they're like, oh, she's giving up. She's giving up. No, it's not true. I have to release this shit. All of the programming and all of the trauma and all of the pain. If I hold it in, it'll kill me. So I vented and I went off. And I normally don't do that with her. I try to do it by myself. But you need friends. You need support. I have my ancestors and my spirit guides. They constantly rah me. And I love them so much. When I'm feeling sorry for myself, they let me do it. But I start getting little hints. Like, okay, you've been in the void long enough. Have you rested up? Are you good? You still want to be a human? You still want to feel sorry for yourself? I mean, they're me, so I can only imagine how much you're holding back. But it's nothing like just saying how you feel. This is why it's good to go to therapy. Just get it out. If you don't want to upset your family, if you don't want them to worry, but you need to release and you don't want to push off your negativity on your loved ones, go talk to a professional who knows shit about you and all they want is your money and just get it out. Oh my God, it's crazy. And they're professional. They went to school for this. They got years of experience of counseling and seeing things from a mind point of view and not emotional, So yeah, that's why I'm all for therapy. Like, go for it. That's why I haven't opened up to life coaching yet, because I want to be that rock for my clients and for my mystics. I want to be that, because I'm emotional. I'm an empath. So I have a tendency to suck in your pain. I will suck in what's wrong for you, and you will walk away feeling like an amazing super person, and I will be left with. So yeah, this is me learning to transmute. And I really feel that this experience happened to me to help someone else. Everything I talk about is the things that I go through, good, bad, or indifferent. And when I share my experiences with you, I'm explaining to you how I get through it. And, it's more than calling in the light. Like, we are grounded here in earth. Yes, you use the spiritual with the physical and the practical and the mystical. It's alchemy. It's the way this stuff works, But sometimes you become so human, like you get stuck in the human, which is where I've been for a month, to where I'm not doing any spiritual practices. I'm not doing my affirmations. I'm not calling in any manifestation. I'm just existing. I'm working at my new job and just sleeping. And I know it's because this is how I get depressed. Like, this is also an aspect of overwhelm and depression. And I'm overwhelmed with everything. I am a planner. I function better on routines. I have known this my entire life. But there's something in the planetary shift, especially with the pattern when they're saying you're going to release 19 years of this character that you built. And I know exactly what the character is. It is people pleasing and trying to be what people want me to be for them, instead of not knowing who I am. I have to go back to that, Crystal. And that is hard. Like, if you wasn't my perfect little circle, and a lot of times I was the quiet one in that group. And I know it's hard to believe that I was the shy, quiet one out of my group, but I was. Like, I didn't talk to everybody. I wouldn't talk to you at all if I didn't know you. I'd just be like. So 19 and on built this who you see is standing here now. So now the pattern is telling me, oh, well, it's time to get rid of that boo. And I'm like, I gotta go back to that. But that Crystal, when I look back, I hated myself then, but I was a beautiful soul. That's when my first ex-husband, Big Cavett, he said, oh, that was my innocent country girl. My innocent girl from West Virginia. I blame part of him. This is him too. He made this tough person, taking me to Baltimore, making me experience, two and all that. Shout out to my Baltimore people. But yeah, it made me who I am today. And all the experiences and all the failed relationships. I'll tell you right now, another thing of me is the patriarchy programming, the religious programming. I have been very religious my entire life. I'm Proverbs 31 woman. That's who I aspired to be. I wanted to be that for my family, for my husband, my partner, whatever, for the world. That's who I wanted to be. And I truly embodied that. It's hard to be this soft, feminine thing that patriarchy wants us to be. You're a goddess. The goddesses had consorts. The goddesses are Aset. Let me say her real name. Nephthys, Sekhmet, Durga, Pavarti, Kalima. I mean, these are goddesses, Anat, Asherah, Inanna, Aphrodite. Come on now. You thought we were just, hello, I am soft and feminine. I mean, we destroy too. So embody who you are all. Your divine masculine and your divine feminine. Become source. Become all the energies. That's what you want to be. But you don't want to be out of balance. I have been out of balance to where most of my life, when I first came into the planet, I was feminine. I could tell by the pictures how I was. But my dad always reminded me how he wanted a boy. So from 5 to 20, I was trying to prove to my dad that I was the best son he never had. I wanted to, play with G.I. Joes and Transformers. I had baby dolls and stuff like that. But most of the time I was on my bicycle, I was playing with boys. Like, I grew up around boys. Very tomboyish. Okay. I still am. It's very hyper. My masculine energy is very hyper present in my personality. Okay. That's why guys are comfortable around me, and they'll tell me how they do women and how they treat women. They won't tell you. They're like, oh, I'm good to them. I'm this, I'm that. But to me, I make the realness come out of people, male and female, masculine and feminine. I will make it come out of you because I want you to be authentic. I want you to feel comfortable around me, right? But I need to go back to the feminine. I need to embrace the real feminine, not this matrixy shit out here that like feminine is gentle and kind. The universe is feminine. The womb, the void. Like I said, there's stories of goddesses destroying universes. That's why they make us the devil and the villain. So you got to embrace the chaos in you. There's nothing wrong with it. You got to embrace you are a goddess. You're a creator and a destroyer. That's your power. You are the medicine woman. You are the nurturer, but you're also the destroyer. You're both. Yes, you are. Yeah, we're all. And I think that's my mission on this planet, is to let patriarchy know that your time is up. It used to be matriarchy. This isn't man versus woman. This is not it. You've had your reign. You removed the goddess from all religions. Father, Son, and the Holy Ghost. They made the Holy Ghost a male entity. Isn't that crazy? A masculine. He. But the Holy Ghost is wisdom. And wisdom in your Bible is referred to as a she. Asherah, the Queen of Heaven, is mentioned in the Bible. Yeah. Existed before the God of the Bible. Because people were still offering bread to Asherah, the Queen of Heaven, and cakes, because we like sweets. I know, there I go. I know. Let's get back to it. This may not even stay in the podcast. We'll do what Spirit says. Anyway, but yes, I was not embodying both. I was embodying more masculine energy, the go-getter, the action-oriented, not receiving. Never receiving. I'm always giving. Don't receive a fucking thing, I've always, even if my partner made more money than me, I was still the provider, if that makes sense. I was still paying the bills. I was still paying the rent, or I was paying their health insurance, or, with my last one, I made more money than him. So I covered him on my insurance, my health insurance, my dental insurance. I covered him. All he had to do was pay the mortgage. But I was still buying groceries and taking care of the animals and stuff, and paying all the bills and stuff like that, and building fences around the house, and just doing what they say is supposed to be masculine. I've always done that. So yes, I want a partner whenever I want one that I'm calling in. I want them to have the same drive as me, the same passion as me. I know it's not going to be perfect, and people are quirky, and, relationships are perfect. I know that. I'm 47, and I've been in very, long-term relationships most of my life. This is the first time in my life I've been single and alone and abstinent and just focusing on myself. But I've been in relationships. I know that they're not perfect, and it's hardly ever 50-50. I don't care what they say. But I need someone that I don't have to worry about taking care of them. And they don't have to worry about taking care of me. That we just come together as partners and lovers and best friends. Yeah. I want them to pull up with their own health insurance, their own dental plan. I want them to pull up with their own credit score, their own bank account. not two broken individuals trying to fix one another. Focus on loving yourself. Everything I'm telling you is the shit I didn't do for myself that got me in the situation that I was in. And it was always listening to other people and listening what I'm supposed to do and how I'm supposed to act and what. That's 19 years of bullshit. And I did it. I did all the things. I checked all the boxes. I was submissive. I was his peace. I was all these things to these men. And I was left broken. I was left alone. Now, do they regret it? Of course they do. Of course they regret it. The grass is never fucking greener. When you find a real one that sees the divine in you and the potential in you, but you can't see it in them, of course you regret it. You're going to regret it no matter what sex you are. Like, wow, I had someone that would love me when I'm impotent and old and decrepit and I have nothing to give sexually, but that person would have loved me for everything I am, would remain my best friend. And they threw it away to chase, because they're cute and they think they can get whoever they want. And then, you got what you got. And you're like, well, Crystal, you're alone too. I choose to be. Because again, like I said, I've been in horrible relationships. So I've never, when I had a divorce, got divorced. I didn't crave a relationship. I didn't want to jump back in it. I had friends who broke up after me and my ex-husband did. And they're already remarried. It's crazy. And I was jealous. I thought, well, maybe I'm doing this wrong. See, that's that programming shit. That I have to be married. Even in spirituality, you got to find your twin flame, Crystal, because that's what we're here to do. No, we're not. That's religious programming. It's trickled down. You are source. Call in your soulmate if you're ready. I'm not ready. Because I'm building a platform here. And relationships take work. They do. And if I'm working a full-time job, and this is my part-time thing that I'm doing horrible at right now, but I have no choice but to move on and do better. I have sons. I have the health issues. I mean, how can I fit a person in that? I can't fit anything in outside of what I'm dealing with right now until I get all this situated, until I get the health issues situated, until I have my routine set up to where a man has to respect that about me. Like, I'm recording from this day to this day to this day. Some days I'm going to be doing podcasts. Some days I'm going to be doing interviews. Yeah, I'm going to start interviewing people. They got to respect that. All my life and all these relationships in these 19 years, I've been controlled. So like I left a very controlling, abusive father in real life, my dad. And then I went to another dad, and then to another dad, and to another dad. And all these men talked down to me. All these men talked to me like I was a fucking child, or worse than that, I was an idiot, or, a stray dog. I mean, that's how they treated me. Not all the time, but, they did. When they did it, they did it. It doesn't matter, if it wasn't all the time. All it taught me was like, well, I don't treat people this way. I don't want to treat people this way. This is not how you treat people. And then you get hit with you'll never find someone to love you the way I did. I don't want I don't want it. This is love. I don't want it. I'll stay in the Hecate Crohn's phase. I'll stay in the Kali phase, where she ran from Shiva. I'll stay here. Because here, as Kali was in the cemetery, she wasn't getting played. She wasn't getting cheated on by Shiva. She was in her true goddess form. I know that's crazy to believe, but that's who she became. Kali Ma is terrifying, but she's also nurturing and loving and protective. So yeah, that's who I came to be. So when a Shiva avatar recognizes me, they're like, be Shakti, be Shakti. I need you to be Shakti. I need you to be Pravarti. At least be Durga, but don't be Kali. It's sad. Because I was that. I was Pravarti most of my life. And I got dogged the F out. So, yeah. I'm in full Kali right now. Oh, yes. Yes, I'm in Kali. So I guess what Spirit wants me to get back is to the Shakti energy I was back in the day. But don't get it twisted. Shakti is Dimavati. Shakti is Chinnamasta. Shakti is Sundari. Shakti is still all these energies. It's Kali, Durga. She's all these energies that will fuck you up. See, you forget that, but you don't want her to be that, so you make that the demon. But you have, I saw 36. But we have to embody that. You won't see 36 when I say it, but because after the editing, it'll be something else. But it's for me. I have to figure out who I am. I guess this episode was to explain to you what I've been going through. And I don't even know how I'm going to break this one up in shorts because I've been venting this whole time. I appreciate y'all listening. But that's what I'm going through right now. So keep me in your thoughts. I need to do more spiritual work and more protective work. Because where I see everyone as source, I'm in the, I'm protected. We're out here working together. We're all here having a human experience. We all have our own thing. But, source has adversaries and ancient haters. So I have to realize I have haters. I have haters right now. I have haters from fake past friends who are sending evil upon me. And I don't believe in sending evil upon people. But I do know when I protect myself, their life goes to shit. So when I still have love for people and I don't want their life going to shit, I want them to prosper and just move on. They're sending shit upon me. So I just see it as this. You're attacking yourself, source. You're attacking yourself because I'm not attacking you. I have a protection. I do work with ancient beings, not just angelics. And because again, we're all source. So you can transmute. Angels and demons are the same being, honey. Angels and demons are the same being. It's just they choose to do this and these angels choose to do that. And that's just the way it is. But as source, as an awakened being, knowing who your higher self is, and if you don't know, just ask. And normally the energy, it pops in your head. If you don't know who that energy is, look it up. That's how I found out who I was, because I didn't know who this person was, sticking her tongue out me in the ceiling. You just ask and you'll find out. And you start researching your higher self, and then that's when you see, oh my God, we have the same qualities. We like the same things. Another thing how I was from 0 to 19, I was goth. I was very goth. I wore all black. I mean, not all the time, but that's where I tend to be. I like black nail polish. I like black everything. I like crows. I like Halloween. I like black cats. I like scary movies. That's who I am. Dark. Anything dark. Loved it. Love it. Yummy. Dark is yummy. Dark is lovely. So, dark is delicious. So, in more ways than one. So, yeah. Owning that about myself, being told all my life, like, that's not Christian. Real Christians don't talk like that. Real Christians don't act like that. You're not being a good Christian, Crystal. Every Halloween, when I was a kid, you know what I wanted to be? And what I was every Halloween? A witch. Not a princess. I was a ghost when I had a mask on. It always had to be something scary. Yeah. I was a Scorpio my whole life before I even knew what a fucking Scorpio was. When I looked up Scorpios, I was offended. I was like, I don't act like that. I mean, my sister pushed it on me. She was like, oh, you're such a Scorpio. And I'm like, what are you saying? I didn't know what that shit was. So yeah, I found out I was a Scorpio sun and rising in North Node and Uranus. And then my moon and Mars is in Cancer in the 8th house. So yeah, I'm just that person. This is who I am. And I need to accept it. I'm not this fluffy light being. I'm just not. I'm not. But knowing that I'm a dark feminine, for all you seers out there, you see my light, don't you? You see it. So you're just like, how? Because I'm not in a space in my heart where I say I hate humans. It's not that I hate humans. I hate the ugliness of humans. I hate how we kill innocent things. I hate how we destroy the earth. I hate how we don't give a fuck about each other. I hate it. I'm a human. I'm in a vessel. I'm a very fragile vessel. But like I said, The people I rock with, my ancestors and spirit guides, are about that life, and they're very protective of me. And that's why I say I got to stay protected. I got to stay in my spiritual mindset. If I stay in a human too long, I become a victim. Like I said, I don't want to live in victim land. It's not a vibe. Not a vibe. It's not cool to live in victim land. But if I keep my energy tuned up from the earth star to the soul star chakra, I got to stay tuned up. And I'm not staying tuned up if I'm not doing my meditation. I'm not staying tuned up if I'm worried about my illness. I'm not tuned up if I'm worried about my complexion, or I'm not taking care of my health, or I'm not making my doctor appointments, or I'm not going to my dentist appointments and, start losing more back teeth because Crohn's is literally attacking that now. Like, it's insane. Yes, I floss and I brush. But that's the thing. It's just things that come with this disease. I know people with Crohn's who've lost all their teeth. So I'm blessed. Like, I'm very blessed. I mean, I basically need braces again. Like, what? It's like I'm freaking 14. Like, I'm going through all this. But it's fine. I'll do what they need me to do. We'll talk about stress next time. Sorry about this, guys. I guess I just needed to talk to my besties. I needed to talk to my mystics and let them know, no, I have not been okay. I've not been okay. It's like when you have a lot of subscribers or followers and you feel like you're not measuring up to what they think you are, I can't come on here fake. So maybe if you don't mind, that I can come on here and I see how they make fun of people who are depressed. I see how they make fun of people who cry on the camera and they go, oh, you're doing it for fucking attention. It's the trolls for me. Like, I don't have a team of people watching my comments. It's just me. Like I said, I have a full-time job. I'm tired. It's a lot for me to do this. And I don't have time to sit there and block comments, be my own moderator, and just, it's a lot of people. So yeah, I have my Instagram to where only my followers can comment. And I know that pisses people off, but if you have to follow me to go off on me, I'm calling in my soul tribe. I'm not calling in everybody. I'm calling in the higher selves of the people who said, let's wake up together. That's who I'm calling in. I'm calling in people that struggle and know what I'm going through. And I know what you're going through. And we vibe and we both get it. Yeah. That's who I'm calling in. I mean, I still have religious people who love me and follow me. I have lost friends I've known my entire life, and they hate me now because I'm not a Christian. Like, I constantly got to remind religious people who come from me, oh no, I do believe in God, Goddess, the Most High, Creator. I do. Because without that source creator, that supreme consciousness, that spark, that 0 point, the beginning and the end, the alpha and omega, we wouldn't be here. We wouldn't. Creation has a creator. And, whether you see that as Gaia, Pachamama, Mother Earth, whether you see that as God or Yahuwah or Yeshua or Jesus or Yahweh or Brahma or Shiva or Shango, Obatala, Buddha. I mean, I can keep going. Allah, El, or Ma, Oya, Sekhmet, Shakti, Kalima, Aset, Hecate, Inanna. It just depends. Asherah. It just depends on what you are working with and what you came to believe. If you came here to be born in religion and die in religion, which I have done several incarnations, then I thought I was going to do it this time. And my higher self I bet you don't. So here I am. And this is the most free I've ever been. You know, I've been very protected my entire life. I've went through a lot, but the stuff I went through, I'm surprised it didn't kill me. And it didn't because, again, I've been protected. I feel like as long as I stay in tune with my higher self and not play human crystal only, because I did come here as crystal, crystal is here to evolve and to learn and to ascend. But my soul essence of who I truly am is infinite, as connected to source. And then that wisdom within me taught me even more than what these books taught me. So I said, all the wisdom you have, you can watch YouTube, you can do all the things. This is what I always tell my followers. The ancient wisdom you're seeking is already within you. All of your lives, all of your experiences. If this is your first time around on the planet as Source, Source has all this infinite knowledge from all the other experiences. We are all Source. We are the universal mind. We are the universal consciousness. You have all of the information within you. They call it channeling. Channel yourself. If you listen to a channeler, listen to your higher self. Listen to your intuition and feel it, what they're like. Because that's what mine does. Mine goes. Sometimes if I hear a channeler, and I don't really listen to a lot of them, because again, everyone's truth is their truth. It may not be your experience. That's their truth, but you can't put your truth on me, and I can't put my truth on you. But I can tell you this. I get it. I get feeling judged and ridiculed, and I get it. I get what you're going through. And that's why I'm here. I'm not here to act like I'm better than you. I'm here to tell you, you're not by yourself. Okay? I love you. Thank you for patiently waiting on me. And to the ones that unsubscribed and unfollowed me because I haven't been here to entertain you. I'm not here to entertain you. I am here to guide you. And we're humans. You know, I'm a normal person. I'm getting hot, so I'm channeling. We all suffer and go through things. Please be kind and patient and understanding. Okay. I love you all so much. Remember, we are magic and what? We are one. I love you. Bye.